patient. Hello again, Facebookers. We got cut off. I think it's the rain. I think it's because I haven't having a humid, frizzy hair day because of all the rain. I think it's affecting Facebook also. So hopefully you guys are going to be back up online real soon too with us. All right, so we're talking about Pinterest, how to not get, caught up into the quicksand of Pinterest and how to use it wisely. For those of you just joining back on Pinterest, a reminder, we talked about the fact that Pinterest is an amazing search engine. You want to use it in a very specific way. Use it for specific idea gathering. Make sure you're separating those ideas into rooms. Don't just go on in heavy on just one type of design style. Make sure you've got it separated into rooms. And then you want to make sure you're doing something with that information. You have to analyze it. You are never going to get that living room to look your Pinterest beautiful wish, hope, and way. You're not going to get that dining room to be that perfect Pinterest board unless you understand what are the elements underneath that design style. And that's where I was talking about your design fingerprint. That is what lives underneath your design style. And it's something I teach, I said, in in my Decorating Genius course, and I teach a bit of it in the Window Boss course that we just launched last week. Doors are going to be closing on that this evening, so I'll tell you a little bit about that later. But anyway, it's what lives underneath the images. So I was starting to say that how you relate to color and pattern alone and how you need those placed or moved in a space, you'll see that in your Pinterest images. Look at those images. Ask yourself, where do I seem to like my color placed? Do I tolerate color? How much color do I tolerate? And look for the common themes that you're seeing in your Pinterest pics so that you can use that information as you start to make decisions. So that if you see, gosh, I really don't like pattern on my floor, and you're in a store and somebody is saying, oh, look at that gorgeous rug, and you're thinking, oh, that really isn't a gorgeous rug, but wait a minute, I do like it here in the store, but I don't really like color on my floor. So I think that's a great looking rug, but it's a great looking rug for someone else. That's what I'm talking about. Being able to know who you are in design and how to find that information. That's not something you'll find in Pinterest. You'll find lots and lots of ideas on Pinterest, which can lead to idea overload, right? You want to make sure that you're getting that information and being really wise and smart with it as well. So if you've ever had an issue with Pinterest, maybe overthinking something because of Pinterest, or getting confused because of Pinterest, or if you've ever had a problem because of Pinterest, pop a comment in and let me know if you ever got derailed by Pinterest, how that happened for you, and maybe I can help you get unrailed and help you get back on track. If you ever felt like you tried a project that was posted on Pinterest and it just didn't work out that way, that well. Sometimes people will tell me they try recipes and they think, looks good on Pinterest, and then it was a disaster when I tried it. Well, if you ever had a Pinterest problem with design, and if you have, let me know what it is. While you're doing that, let me tell you a couple of exciting things. Next week, we are talking about open concept design. Where do most people get tripped up? Open concept design, where do most people get tripped up? And I also want to invite you, if you want to put in a comment or anything about the Pinterest question I've asked you. Tonight, I'm going to be back out at 8 p.m. because I'm getting questions about Window Boss. It's a great course, how to plan and select your perfect window treatments, whether you're doing ready-made, semi-custom, or custom. A lot of you have hopped into that course. I'm so happy. Doors close tomorrow night, Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. There's a great special pricing that we have and a special package we have on the course right now. And I've been getting some questions from people who are kind of thinking about joining, not sure if they will or not. And so we're going to do a special Facebook Live tonight at 8 p.m. just answering questions about the Window Boss course. So you can ask me your questions real time, and it's easier for me to answer this way verbally than tapping it back out to you on my keyboard. So I'm just going to see if there are any comments and such. Okay, Jennifer McCann is telling me that on Instagram that the Design Fingerprint is a game changer. A lot of people say that about the Design Fingerprint, and one of the reasons I decided I don't like to repeat information from course to course, because a lot of my students love a course once they've taken it and then they want to take another course, so I don't want them to sit through the same material. But I did decide to do the Design Fingerprint inside of Window Boss and to go further with it just on window treatments, because I want you to know what you're attracted to and why, so that you can off the bat, before we even dive into how to pick those perfect and plan those perfect window treatments, so you know right off the bat what you respond to in treatments how you like windows treated and such. For various rooms that you're working on, it's a game changer because it stops the confusion and it stops you from listening to other people's opinions. It stops you from getting thrown off course by well-meaning loved ones, your best friend, your sister, your hubs, or a salesperson that's well-meaning. So the design fingerprint is really important, which is why I decided inside of Window Boss, it was important that we take a look at it. And if you've already done the design fingerprint with me in Decorating Genius, I go further and in a new direction with it inside of Window Boss. So there you go. Okay, so I'm getting hellos from people. I'm so sorry that we lost our initial connection. I know there are a bunch of comments that I lost earlier that from the first Facebook Live we started before we got cut off. So I'm getting hellos, but I'm getting Kalinda is saying that she tried to decorate her master bedroom from a Pinterest picture. Okay. I don't know if it worked or didn't. I hope it did, Kalinda. Ruth is saying, looking for inspiration for my spaces. I can find rooms I like, but I don't know how it would translate to my own space because our floor plan is unusual. So Ruth, that's a great point. So the difference between an idea and an inspiration and a strategy. An idea is a random thought. I think I'll wear a black shirt with my skirt today. That's an idea. It's a thought. But the strategy of designing a room with your unusual, floor plan that you have, that is very, very different. Taking design aesthetic ideas that you love and then working them into what you already own and into your own floor plan or space plan, that's all strategy. So if you feel like you're stuck there, Ruth, I would encourage you, whether it's with me or someone else, get some strategy under your belt, and it'll be a game changer because then you'll be able to take those inspiration images on Pinterest and use them the way they're supposed to be used, which is to move you forward. Unfortunately, they tend to cause a lot of confusion and a lot of tail chasing instead. So that's something I hear from you guys a lot. So I totally empathize. Lori is saying, I get confused on Pinterest. If I see something I like, I don't know how to find out what the wall color is in the room or where to find some of the furniture featured in the room. That's an interesting point, Lori. So why can't you always find the furniture in the room? Guys, by the time we designers photograph the space, it could be a year after it was designed. And just because it was designed doesn't mean, and delivered on, I'm saying, January 1st, 2019, doesn't mean that the furniture that went into that space is still available now. Because with the economy being what it is, once the economy changed about 14 years ago, manufacturers stopped holding inventory, and inventory is a bad word, right? It's cash flow being tied up. So manufacturers were less patient in keeping things in their line. Things have always moved in and out of furniture lines, always, because manufacturers, to stay in business, they have to keep showing new, what will excite, new customers. But then once the economy changed and people got so sensitive about having inventory, stores as well, people are just changing things out. They're not building as deep an inventory in a particular item, a particular SKU. So it's not unusual at all to find something that you love and say, oh my gosh, I don't even make it anymore. That's actually very common. And you're right, Lori, it's not even finding that exact item. It might be finding something that's like it. So what I would say is try to take the essence of what you see on Pinterest, the essence of the shape of the furniture, and see if you can replicate that in some other manufacturers that you have access to in your town where you live or online. Okay, so then Kalinda is telling me more of her story. She's saying that she was really overwhelmed with design because she couldn't find the same decor that she saw in her Pinterest pics. What a nightmare. I just wanted it to look like the pic. What a nightmare. I think, Kalinda, if you can try to do kind of what I just said to Lori. Oh, forget it. Gosh, we forgot to block everything. I tell you what, oh my gosh, I get more spam calls on my cell phone. It's maddening. Sorry, Insta. Anyway, instead of trying to do the exact room, don't. Try to get the essence. Try to get the flavor. If you can I'm telling you, you don't need the exact pieces. You need the essence of that, the essence of those silhouettes, those colors, the balance of them. If you can do that, Kalinda, you'll have that. When we design a space for a client, we do ask him and her to pull pictures of things that they love. Pinterest, house, whatever. And it's so interesting to me that I'll see their design fingerprint very clearly in what they show to me. And that's something I teach full out in Decorating Genius, the course. But interestingly, when we're getting ready to deliver a home, and we don't copy what's in Pinterest pictures, we don't need to. We know the strategy, right? But we know what essence we're trying to capture, what kind of feeling we're trying to capture. And I'm telling you, 10 times out of 10 times, right before we go in to deliver something, I'll say, hey, Katie, let's go look back at the Joneses inspiration images. And we do, and we go, yep, that's all. We got this essence, and then we go ahead and we deliver everything, and we hit the nail on the head. So it's about knowing how to use the Pinterest pictures. It's not about copying it exactly. You'll never be able to. It'll be very hard to, at least, because things go in and out of production, and also, what do you have access to? And you know, Katie also made a great point earlier. We were talking about this Facebook Live before I came out here with you, and I agree with her. Pinterest is an easier vehicle to use in many ways than Houzz, because that Pinterest algorithm does get to know you. So for research and for gathering inspiration, it's just fantastic. So there you go. All right, lovelies. It looks to me like I have read all of your fabulous comments. Insta, I can't really see your comments very well. Okay, flavor and essence is a great idea. Somebody on Insta is telling me that, so that's good. I agree that I'm happy that you're agreeing and liking that. We're going to wrap out from here. We've got a lot more miles to cover here at the design studio before we wrap it for the day. So I'm going to bow out early, but I will be back here on Insta and on Facebook tonight at 8 p.m. to answer your questions about the brand new Window Boss course. It's unbelievable. The women who've already tried it have loved it. And I want to invite you, if you don't already follow us on Instagram, I hope you will, at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. This Insta will live for about 24 hours on our feed. And if you miss this on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube. Although this was kind of a wonky Facebook Live because we had to stop and restart, but it may not end up on YouTube. But then again, it may. You never know. All right, lovelies. Big hugs to you. Next week, I'll see you when we're talking about open concept space planning, or open concept design, I should say. Open concept design, where do people commonly get tripped up? So I'll see you next week. Thanks for the hearts and the love. Love you right back. Bye, guys.